Welcome back to the Chris Review. My name is Chris, and today I'll be going over some of the best last-minute back-to-school online deals of 2024. It's currently August, and all the products mentioned in this video will be linked in the description below, which are affiliate links, so I'll earn a small commission from there if you decide to purchase from that, and I'll also link some of my YouTube videos that I made of these products down below too. Let's get started.
First up, we have a backpack. This is the bare essential you're going to need for school, for college. And I chose this High Sierra one just because I've always used High Sierra for high school, even for college. It's been my go-to bag. Now, this one's currently retailing at $48.69, but if you want something a little bit more budget friendly, there's also this option. It's going to be another High Sierra. It's going to be a loop backpack. And because of the quality, I'm sure it's going to be just as fine. And one of my favorite parts about this would be the backside of the High Sierra, just because it does have, let me go back here, it does have some good padding on the side as well as on the strap, so it's always going to be nice and comfortable. Next up is going to be a large laundry basket, and this one's going to retail for $25.99. It's 75 liters, and I like this one just because it's lightweight. I can even fold it, so I still use this one in the closet, and if there's not a lot of space in it, you can kind of squish it too. But if you want something a little bit more budget friendly and also something you can take to the laundry room, then this other one would be a better option. And it's a little bit cheaper at $16.99. You can put this is going to be a backpack bag. And on top of that, you can also put some detergent on the back. And now this one's going to be a little bit smaller. It's not going to be the 75 liters like the other one, but it's still plenty enough for clothes. And a good pair of earbuds is always a good option. And I'm going for these Apple AirPods Pro. I've had them for a few years now, the first generation, and these have always been comfortable. They've been my go-to earbuds when running, when just working. They're comfortable, and most importantly, they do have the noise cancellation headphones, which help a lot, and even though it drains the battery, it still lasts me the full day, but they can be pretty pricey at $189.99, so if you want something a little bit more budget-friendly, definitely check out the Caddy Bluetooth headphones. Now, these are still going to look pretty nice. They also have a screen in the center so you can actually see what the battery's like, which is pretty handy instead of me having to go to my phone to see what it is. One thing about these is they are going to be a little bit more lightweight, so I'm not sure what the durability of these would be like. I gave these to my brother, so he uses them as well too, and he's had no issues with them. And they're currently going for $35.99, but you can get an additional 40% off coupon, so these are a pretty good deal. Yeah, and with the coupon applied, these will go for $21.59, so these are a great deal currently. Next up is going to be a laptop, and I opted for the MacBook Air 13-inch. Now, currently I have a MacBook Pro just because I wanted as much power as possible, but when I was in college, I used a MacBook Air, the 2016-2015 edition, and a lot changed since then. For starters, you get a lot more bang for your buck. It's going to be quicker, it's going to be faster, camera's better, you got the updated ports. Thankfully, you still have MagSafe, which I love. I hated it when they changed it to USB-C, and I'm a fan of the black color. Now, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, this would be great for you, but if you want to stick for something in Windows, then I have another option that's also a little bit more budget friendly because this one's currently at $849.99 on Amazon, which is a good deal just because if you go on Apple, this will be a little bit over $1,000, but you do get a gift card from them. So either way, at least you get something. Best Buy, I found the best deal. It's going to be the HP Envy 2-in-1 14-inch laptop. This is the one my brother got for college, and I'll be having a video on this shortly. But so far, this one felt like a good deal, and the price actually raised up a little bit. When we got it, it was like $649.99, so it's $50 more. And this one's going to be 14 inches, which is a good middle screen size. You can fit it in your backpack. It doesn't take up too much space, and it's very lightweight. It's also got a full metal construction. The keys are a little bit on the bigger side, from my understanding, or at least the font of it. But everything looked nice. And of course, this is the X360, so you can fully flip it over, use that as a tablet, stand it up, watch the movies. And if you have a laptop, it's worth getting a laptop stand so you don't constantly look down and strain your neck. So I've had this one for a few months now. This is the one I'm currently using. I opted for this black color just because it looks pretty sleek. One issue I found with this is that I wish it was a bit taller. So one thing I do to fix this is just put like a book at the bottom. Otherwise, if you want, you can get one that actually extends upwards and downwards. And if you get a laptop stand, you're also going to need some sort of keyboard and mouse. So I found this combo. It's currently at $20.99, plus you get an additional $2 off. And the cool thing about this one is you also do get a holder, so you can put your tablet or you can put your phone in here. And getting a good desk lamp is also worth it. Now, I had something similar to this in college. The only thing that was missing was the wireless charging portion. I didn't have that. I didn't even have a very new phone that could do that, so it didn't matter. But nowadays, having a wireless charger at your desk is pretty convenient, especially if you have some more modern phones that you can take advantage of that. On top of that, this is going to be LED. You can change the color temperature of it, and you can also store some additional tools like some scissors, pens, or pencils in the compartment. And this is currently going for $25.91. Next up is going to be a desk organizer, which is currently going for $19.30, plus you get an additional 15% coupon. Now, this one's good, especially if you have a bunch of things, a bunch of notebooks, a bunch of folders in your desk, and you just don't want them to be cluttered up or piled up. This just makes it a lot easier to sort them out. On top of that, you also do have some drawers so you can hide little things such as a calculator, some post-it notes, erasers, some pens, pencils, or you can put the pens and pencils on the side. So usually 2 ports isn't enough, so it's always worth getting a surge protector. And this is going to be a power strip. It's going to be a little bit different than other ones just because it's going to be square. You're going to get 8 ports, but this one's a little bit more modern because you also get the USB ports on the side. You get 3 USB Type A and 1 USB-C. So if you have the new iPhone, if you have any Samsung Galaxy phone, you can still charge it and you don't need the big power brick like this. Next up is the Anker Soundcore Bluetooth speaker. Now this one's going to go for $27.99, but you can get $2 off with the coupon currently. Now this one's going to be IPX5 waterproof, which means you can basically spray a nozzle to it. But there's been an upgraded version of this since then, which is going to be this one. Now the price is going to be $2 more since you don't get a coupon on this one, but it is fully waterproof IPX7, so you can dunk this. On top of that, it also does look nicer than the old one, and it's going to be perfect for those dorm rooms, for those bedrooms, whatever you want to play it at. It's got a good sound. You can also take it outside, take it to the park, and just have some fun. Now, winter's coming up, and it gets very, very cold, so an electric heated blanket or a throw blanket is definitely worth getting. Now, unfortunately, this one's currently unavailable, but when I bought this back in November, it was about $24. So since then, I found this other one. This is going to be the same size, 50 by 60. It's going to be a throw blanket, but you can opt for a larger version, which I definitely would recommend. Now, this one's price-wise, it's going to be a little bit more at $31.10, but you can get an additional 10% off this. And if you're on the go and you have nowhere to plug in your devices, then the Anker Prime Power Bank is worth checking out. This one's going to be 27,650 milliamps. It's going to be upgraded from the old version, which is going to be about 24,000. It's got a new look, it feels better, but the issue with this is going to be the price. It is at $179.99, and although you can save 15% off, this can be a pretty big investment, especially if you don't want to spend that much on it. So there's an alternative. There's going to be this Anker Power Bank. Now, this one's only going to be 65 watts compared to the 250 watts on this one, but you can still charge your laptop, you can still charge your phones. So you have a USB-A and 2 USB-C, but it still does the job. And on top of that, the size of it just feels a little bit more convenient. Instead of it being kind of like a tube shape, this is more phone shaped, and of course it is going to be thicker, but you can still store this in your bag. When I was in college, I used the cruiser board to get around, and it was really fun. I loved it. And I'm glad I got a cruiser board because even though I saw some people with a penny board, penny boards were too big. They were still fun, they felt smoother, but they just took up too much space. And so a cruiser board, even a penny board, is a good alternative. And for $49.99, but definitely worth checking out. And for $26.99, you can get a half-gallon water bottle. And what I like about this one is the fact that it's insulated. It comes with this pouch and the carrying strap, so you can carry it around. And most importantly, there's going to be 3 different spouts it comes with. Now, my favorite one is going to be this spout lid. You can basically just unscrew it, kind of like a regular water bottle. But if you want, you can use the straw or just straight up the big handle if you want to gulp a lot of water down. And if 64 ounces isn't enough, you can always go up to 87 or 128. Now, one regret I had in college is not getting a mattress topper just because the mattresses weren't the most comfortable. They were pretty firm, so I just slept through it. My brother, on the other hand, he didn't. I got him this Lucid mattress topper, $36.54. It's definitely worth investing, especially if you want to stay comfortable in your room. This is going to be 2 inches of foam thickness, but if that's not enough thickness for you, you can also get 3 inches. And if you have a bigger bed, it comes with a bunch of different options as well. And if you like being higher up on your bed, then for $22.99, you can get some bed risers. And the cool thing about these is they're adjustable. So you can be as little as 4 inches and as much as 9 inches and somewhere in between to 6. So you can definitely increase the size, and you can even put some things under your bed. And if you want to put things under your bed, then the Clever Made collapsible storage bin would be a good option. The issue with this is it's $70.99. The price can be hefty, but this is big at 62 liters, and most importantly, it's collapsible. I used this throughout college. I put my things in here, I put my monitor in here, and I was just able to transport it. And when it came time to not use it, I was able to collapse it, put it under the bed, put it on the side, and it doesn't take up too much space. If you want something a little bit more budget friendly, then these storage bins would be a good alternative. They come in a pack of 6. They are 5 liters each, so you get 5, 10, 15, 30 liters total. But you can store plenty of things, whether it be food, whether it be some notebooks or whatever you want to store under your bed in these bins. And having a good shower caddy is also worth it, just because you don't want to keep carrying things back and forth from the bathroom or just stuffing it in a backpack or your pockets. This shower caddy, you can put a bunch of things inside. You can put your toothbrush, your shampoo, and it's also got a zipper for some smaller items. And the most important part is it has a hook on it, which just makes it so much easier to store in your bedroom, to store inside the closet. And it's $24.97. But if you want something a little bit more budget friendly, then this would be a good alternative. It's going to be a mesh shower caddy at $12.99. And although it doesn't have that hook, it still does have a handle. And if you want to hang this in the closet, then a good option would be just to tie a string on it and then tie it on top, or just put the hook upside down and then try to tie something on it, and then you could still store this in the closet. And when you shower, make sure to use some sort of slippers. These are $15.98. They got holes through them so the water can seep through it. I've used something similar to these in college. These are going to be rubberized, but if you want something even cheaper, you can get some flip-flops at the dollar store for a couple bucks. And let's not forget a toothbrush. For $15.99, you can get this PopSonic electric toothbrush. Now, this one's going to be gentler compared to other toothbrushes. It has 2 speed settings, but it doesn't vibrate intensely. It's got the cap on it so you can store it when not in use. It's travel friendly. It uses 1 AAA battery, I believe. And it's fairly stylish looking. You can stain it up. And for $9.95, you can get this 18-month calendar so you can keep track of your projects, keep track of due dates. And there's also on the side to write some notes and some goals for the month. Now, this one starts in July. It's currently August, but just rip this one out. And it's going to be for 18 months, so you have the entire 2025 year as well too. And if you don't want to use a nail to hang the calendar, then you can always use some double-sided tape. This is going to be 1 inch by 16.5 feet, and it's easy to take off. And if it gets stuck for some reason, you can always just use a heat gun on top of it and just gently start pulling it out so you don't have any paint chipped off. But if you want something a little bit stronger, then these Velcro Extreme Outdoor Mounting Tapes would be worth it. Now, I currently use these for my Easy Pass in my car. I hang my bulletin board here, and these are very durable. They hold up to 15 pounds. It's 20 feet, so you get a lot longer of a roll. And because this is Velcro and you want to take the item off, you can always do so instead of having to rely on the double-sided tape and then having to do it all over again. And since winter's coming up, a space heater wouldn't be a bad option either, and this one's currently going for $22.99. Now, this one's going to be a bit smaller. It's going to be 9 inches in height, so this is going to be very portable, especially if you don't have a lot of space in your room. You can move it around, you can put it on your desk, and it'll keep you nice and cozy during the colder months. And you can never be too safe, so it's always worth getting some sort of first aid kit. And for $15.55 plus 20% off, this is a good option, especially because there's a lot of things in here, from Band-Aids, Neosporin, gauze, you even get Tylenol, and a cold pack, some scissors. So there's a lot of things here if anything ever happens to you or your friends.